All right. Let's go. We made it to the final.
The final time. Finally.
Final. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back. We are back. Welcome to Challenge Express. Chew here with my boy a Daniel. Yo, I just combined you and Daniel's name.
What the fuck?
Take another sip of coffee. I'm not.
Yeah, take another drink of your coffee, bro, because you're not fully awake yet.
All right, what's up, my boy Adon?
Honest.
Tom and the Don.
Tom and the Don. What's up, man?
Otherwise, it's Tom and the Dan. Ugh.
Yeah, it doesn't have a good ring to it, does it?
No.
Yeah, so think about that next time you fuck up my name.
Yeah, fuck, man. My bad. But we're here. You know, we're here. Hopefully no more slip-ups. The remainder of this podcast will be professional and on point, like always.
Like always.
Yes.
Como siempre.
Expect nothing less.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we are at the final, part 1 of how many parts to be decided?
Probably like 5 at this
I
point.
hope only one more, but I don't know. They ended this episode around like the 30 to 40 hour mark. So
yeah.
I don't know. Do you think we'll maybe get a 3-part final?
That's what I think.
That's what you think.
Parts.
Shit.
There's no way. They're about to
They tell us. So it's like
70 more hours in one episode.
Yeah,
no way.
I mean that is true. But I hope they like tell us before the next episode starts, like if we're gonna know the winner, because I'm kind of expecting to know the winner if they don't say anything after the next episode. But maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, part 1 of the final, we will be recapping. So they start off in. TJ mentioned this. I don't know if he mentioned it a couple times, but he was like, "This is not your traditional final." He said that, which stood out to me, and it's a little different so far, but not to the point where it's like it's like a different entity. It still feels like a challenge final to me.
Yeah, they are doing things a little kind of out of order with how you usually would think. Like they had them drive to the first checkpoint, which was a overnight challenge. Yeah. Which is like the overnight thing happens like halfway through the final. They started off with the overnight, so which there's gonna be I took note of that. Yeah, you know, it was like, oh, okay, we're starting with the sleeping part. Okay,
sure. Whatever. Yeah,
they're like, here, get your rest now because these 100 hours are about to kill you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So the first hours they're driving in some 4x4s to the first stop. Kind of gives us our little like montage or inside of the brains of these pairs before they run the final. We usually get that, but they did it a little differently this time, which was cool.
I kind of like that. It was like the anxiety building part of the final. Like they're driving to it. Yeah, I love that they were the ones driving to it too. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, the calm before the storm for sure. Argentina is beautiful. I don't know what time of year. It seems like fall, but like the leaves are a little discolored, and I don't know. It's just I commented multiple times. I watched it with my sister, and we were just both like in awe at the scenery.
Yeah.
So once they get to this spot, they have to get their bags and trunk out of the trunk, and then go to the first checkpoint, which inside of we're at checkpoint 1. Inside of the trunks are camping supplies, and to get the code to unlock the trunk to get the camping supplies, you have to ride on an exercise bike for 100 kilometers combined with you and your partner, which is a little over 62 miles. So definitely getting right into it.
You know, obviously, as any diehard challenger would know, this is very free agent.
Yes.
Like
I didn't even think about it, but as you were saying that, I was like, yep, free agents. Yeah.
Free agents. Like it wasn't as like brutal as the free agents one, because the free agents one happened while like halfway into the final already. So they were already like dead.
And they were individual.
Yeah. And also I think the one on free agents had more like winning was important.
Right.
Or finishing was important versus like this one. There wasn't really any reason to like finish first.
I don't like
I
that.
wish they had added something to it, like the first team gets to start the final first, or gets a head start or something.
Yeah.
We start or something like that. But it just felt like a way to just get them tired already. Like, dang.
Yeah. It almost felt like a waste of time, but yeah, you said it's a way to get them tired, but immediately go to sleep after that, so then they're well rested for the morning. Okay, yeah, they're a little sore, but
Yeah, they're a little sore, a little achy. CT. I don't know when he said that, but I've always kept that like saying in my
I
head
keep
when I
picturing him
say
saying
sore.
that. Sore.
Yeah, like he said it. He's like, "Oh, he's a little sore, a little achy," and
Yeah.
I kept that in my vocabulary because
Yeah. That's funny.
okay, yeah,
But yeah, exercise bikes don't seem that difficult. It's just it's monotonous and it takes a long time. But yeah, especially when there's nothing on the line, they could just take their sweet time like Devin and Tori did.
yeah. Devin was the one who caught that real quickly. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
that's why I wasn't really like, because my girlfriend was giving Bananas a hard time, but in my head I was just kind of like, I feel like Nani's taking this part a little too seriously.
Mm.
Because I don't think there's really no reason to be taking this one too seriously.
My mom actually thought the same. I briefly talked about the final with her a little bit ago. Yeah, I was watching it with my sister. I think she was a little annoyed by Banana's antics, and I agreed a little bit, especially with like the sweat rag to the face 2 times in a row. That shit
Oh
was,
yeah, that's a little like
yeah,
yeah.
that's a little overboard. But yeah, now that you mention it, like, yeah, there was nothing on the line, so what's the
Yeah.
point of like being so serious the whole time?
Yeah, like they like even production wasn't taking it serious with the fucking slow-mo shots of everybody shirtless, where at this point I was with my girlfriend watching it. I almost turned off the TV when they had
Yeah,
Horacio,
yeah,
because Horacio is like, that man is ridiculously
yeah.
annoying.
Anybody next to Horacio looks like a fucking pathetic dwimp.
Yeah, yeah, they showed Horacio, and then right after they showed Bananas, I was like, there's literally not even a comparison right here.
Yeah,
Like, go back to Horacio,
yeah, that's rough.
please.
Yeah. Um, yeah,
Or
but
don't.
or don't. Yeah, just just
Or
don't.
don't.
Yeah, put your shirt on,
So
Horacio.
put your shirt on, bro.
What are you like hot or something? Sweat? What are you tired? Like, come on,
Like, relax.
put your shirt back on.
Put your shirt back on, bro.
Yeah, Bananas pissing Nani off. Kind of up and down all episode, and it seems like we're gonna get that next episode as well, where they kind of have some turmoil going on. A little bit surprised. It's like they're in a final. Get it together.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are veterans, experience.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's weird, because you think like on the surface they're like imploding, but like Nani had that confessional, was like, that's just how we communicate, by just yelling at each other
Yeah,
and just talking shit. And she's like, I can't make it make sense, but that's how it is, and that's how it works for us.
that's
So
how it
like, I
has
don't know
been.
if that's just how it works for them, or if they're just literally imploding in front of us. I don't know. It's so confusing with those two.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to understand them as well. Let's see. Yeah, so the exercise bikes are done. It turned into a little bit of a battle between Horacio and Jordan, a little bit of an ego thing, which I saw coming immediately. Um, so yeah, the next morning is hour 19. TJ says today is a race. So now that I read that out loud, if he says today is a race, maybe the next day is not a race. And that's
Yeah.
where like the traditional final, that's where they're like straying away from a traditional final. I don't, we'll see. But TJ did mention a lot of things where it's like, should we listen to that? Should we look into that phrase deeply? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Along the race, there are several stations, not checkpoints. They usually call them checkpoints. Stations.
Yeah,
I don't know
station.
if that matters. I don't know.
Yeah.
Complete each station and move on. If you win today, okay, yeah. If you win today, it will give you a distinct advantage tomorrow. We've seen what a distinct advantage is going into the next day, where it's like a pair wins by an hour, and their distinct advantage is a 5-minute head start.
Yeah, like they need to do better with these advantages.
Distinct
But
advantage. Yeah.
like you need to like, I don't know. I would more so like would prefer like not an advantage, but the other team's got a disadvantage or something like that. Like something that would slow them down versus something that would give me this like baby ass head
Yeah.
start. Because
And we'll
I
see.
had a huge one yesterday.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe it is a legit advantage, um, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
cut to us next week talking shit about the advantage. Like, what the fuck was
I
that?
know.
What the
Yeah,
fuck was that?
we'll see. We're either gonna look like geniuses or look like fucking dumbasses. So
Yeah,
story
yeah.
of my life. Um, and Nisa rolls her ankle,
Ooh, yeah.
so I might come off a little brash here,
Mm.
but her weight can't support her ankle can't support her weight in long distance runs.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think so. She's had a lot of problems with her ankle. I
Yeah.
think this would have happened eventually. Um, the shortcut gave her a good excuse, and I mean, I'm not saying the shortcut ex- sped up the process of her ankle getting injured because it was a different terrain. It was a
Mm.
lot of ups and down. It was a different terrain than just a normal flat path. So
Yeah.
definitely played in as a factor to her rolling her ankle, but I feel like she's going to use this as an excuse for the rest of the final. I hate that it happened because I just want to see her run it healthy, but I don't know if that's possible in
Mm.
her current state of being.
Yeah. The path what they took. I actually missed the part where Jordan said to cut through. So, cause like I think I got distracted with something, and when I came back,
Yeah.
is when she was like talking about how her ankle rolled, and
Yeah.
then it cut back from commercial, and then I saw that she was like complaining about how they deviated from the original path and that
Yeah.
she rolled her ankle. But, um, bringing like the reactions of that from social media, a lot of people were bringing up the fact how, she rolled her ankle on Dirty 30,
Mhm.
right? And she was people were giving her shit for being dramatic about it, and then people also brought up the fact that Jordan literally broke his leg on the Dirty 30 final and
Yeah.
ended up winning the final.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Anissa's the type of person who she rolls her ankle and and she mentally checks out and starts making excuses for herself. Like, I don't want to make it worse. And it's just like she doesn't want to push herself, I think. I don't think she wants to push herself to the limit that other people push themselves.
Yeah.
Um, and she kind of blocks off that she thinks she's pushing herself, but I don't know. She has like a limit that she puts on herself, and I think she could surpass that limit. What I really liked from Jordan, obviously he was frustrated. Maybe I don't like that a little. I mean, it's hard. You're in a final. Your
Yeah.
partner rolls her ankle. You get
Yeah.
frustrated, whatever. What I like is Jordan trying to give her a pep talk about advice about what he does when he gets injured during like competitions, and he's just like, I like to try to envision like where I'm injured. I like to try to envision it healing and getting better, and the white blood cells rushing to that exact position, and
Yeah.
I try to imagine that it's healing it, and sometimes it works. And I'm a firm believer in just like positivity. You can like breed positivity within your body. If you're stressed, you could add things that are detrimental to your body. So I believe that this could work. And it was honestly a breath of fresh air hearing Jordan talk about it, because you don't hear many people talk like that because it makes them sound insane. Like, what are you talking about? Like
Yeah.
envisioning my ankle getting better? Like,
Yeah.
that's not going to work. That's not how bodies work. That's not how science works. But I think it has proven to work in a lot of situations, and I've listened to a lot of like super athletes talk about that as well. So I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool to hear.
And you know what? And I almost like hate that I'm gonna like use her situation to kind of elevate somebody else, but you can really see like different mentalities in different challengers. Where Anissa rolled her ankle, and she was kind of making, like you said, making excuses for why she doesn't want to do certain things, like run and hurt it more and all this stuff. And then you see someone like Olivia who gets cracked in the face after hurting her finger, and is just like, can you just put a band-aid over it so I can keep running?
Yeah.
You see how different the mentality is?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad you came up with an example because I like Anissa. I don't want Anissa haters to come at me. I love Anissa. I think she's one of the best challengers in the regular season of the challenge, just not when you get to the final. I think that's where she lacks a lot.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
just think, Anissa, it's just a mental thing with Anissa. Honestly, I don't know what it is about her.
and I think I I think she has a mental block with herself. I know she can get in better shape, but it seems like she doesn't think she can get in better shape. She's like, this is the way I'm built. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing I could do about it. She said things like that. I'm paraphrasing, but she's definitely said, like, this is the way I'm built. Like, these are the cards I'm dealt. Like, you could always do better. You could always be better. You could always push yourself and get in better shape, I think.
That's the most frustrating thing about
There's
Anissa.
some specific cases out there where yes, it's extremely hard to lose weight, the thyroid issues, genetically, but genetics I don't think play a huge role in like body type and weight. Yes, it can play a role, and it may make people have to work harder than other people to make their bodies healthier, but it's possible. And I just don't. I think she refuses to admit that she could like be in better shape, which is a flabbergasting to me.
Anissa is easily the most frustrating challenger to watch. Not because I think she's annoying, because I think she could be funny during confessional sometimes, and she could provide good entertainment and good facial reactions to
Well speaker,
speaker, all this stuff, right? But it just feels like she's not making the right moves and the actual moves she needs to make to be that champ.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like Nani's like the opposite. It feels like Nani's actually doing the things that she wasn't doing before, and she's actually doing the things that she should have been doing this entire time to actually be a champ. Because look at how we talk about Nani. We're like, fuck, bro, Nani's playing different this season, bro.
A tier. She has upped a tier. Like if she was a C player, she's at least a B tier now.
Yeah, Nani is fucking because we used to give Nani a hard time seasons ago for almost like the same thing. Like, what the fuck, Nani? Like, come on.
It's like, do you really want to win?
Like, do you want to win? Like, what season?
And now I'm starting to feel that about Anissa. It's like, do you really want to win? Or are you just saying?
Do you really want to win? Or what's going on?
You're not making any differences in your lifestyle to like try to win. So
yeah. So
like,
I don't know.
How do you like expect your supporters to like keep supporting you and like want you to win when it doesn't even seem like you really want to win? It's like actions speak louder than words. Like, yeah, you can sit down in a confessional and be like, there's nothing more I want than to win. You can say that. It's so easy to say that.
Yeah, and that's why I say it's so frustrating with Anissa, because like with Anissa, it's like I don't take joy on almost saying some of these things because I like Anissa and I want her to do good. So like it doesn't make me feel good saying all these things, but it's just like, come on, Anissa.
And we know as a human being, she should be capable of doing these better things. So it's like we say these things because we care and we want to support her. We like her. We would like to like her even more,
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's how it is with Anissa.
I guess that's our little TED talk on Anissa.
TED talk on Anissa. And you know what? I'm sure there are a lot of challenge fans who probably feel the same way about Anissa.
Yeah.
Some probably more harsher than us.
Yeah, and some
but
harsh.
But I feel like the general consensus is that's how a lot of people view Anissa. Like, she could be entertaining and funny sometimes, but like as a challenger,
As a
Do we
challenger,
really take Anissa all that seriously?
right? This is her ceiling. Making it to a final. That's her ceiling. You know.
Yeah, and she's great at eliminations too.
Great at daily challenges.
Yeah, so it's just like fuck, Anissa.
I
You
know.
just fixed one or two things. Can
Yeah.
you imagine the like beast you would be right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. I think if she just exercise, drops. I hate saying it, but drop some weight. I think her ankle would be able to support her better, and she would roll her ankle less. I mean, it makes sense to me, but obviously, if she's happy with how she is and how she feels, then you don't have to change anything. Yeah, I'm not forcing anyone to change themselves. Like if she's happy, then continue being happy. Like we're just fucking audience members, talking
Right.
about the show. So
Yeah. So what do we know? Right?
nothing.
Nothing. We don't know shit.
Yeah. One day I think I know everything, and then the next day it's like, oh, I actually don't know anything. Cool.
The next day, it takes you a day to realize that. It could take me like an hour to realize that. So,
But yeah, moving on, we get to the next checkpoint. We've seen this before, reminiscent of Dirty 30. They have 10 bolas that they need to land on their stations. Every 2 they land, they can sabotage another pair by giving them a nasty smoothie. I don't know why they don't tell us what's in these smoothies. Why?
well, they said something fish.
I mean, yeah, we got the cast members guessing like fishy, tuna, ranch, like a combination of this like kitchen shit that doesn't go well together.
Yeah, I guess as a challenger, that's kind of scary to
Yeah.
not know what it is. We got to obviously there's some sort of like meat in it since Tori just couldn't have it
Yeah, come
for
on.
whatever reason.
I'm a vegetarian, but even my sister was like, I'd fucking eat. If I had to, I'd eat it, Like in this situation, you're signing yourself up for something where you might have to eat fucking disgusting meat-based products. So
Yeah. So
luckily she had a partner and she didn't have to. Would they have finished that checkpoint even quicker if she did? Yes. But they're still in the lead, so no harm, no foul as of right now.
yeah, it also worked out for a benefit because I'm pretty sure Devin's like I don't know if he's like professional, but he's expressed in the past like how much he likes drinking beer and chugging it and shit like that.
It wasn't like a beer jug, it seemed. So like, if
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure he
like
was trying to imagine it was just beer.
like it was beer, yeah, or drinking. He was drinking it like it was beer. Like some of it was just spilling onto his shirt.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the first thing Tori said was, "Is it vegan?" It's like highly unlikely, Tori.
yeah.
So something interesting happened during this checkpoint. Devin and Tori make a quick deal with Bananas and Nani so that they won't be there drinking smoothies forever, because they were clearly the 2 best pairs at landing bolas on their station. So they were just going to give each other a bunch of smoothies, which would probably make them stay there longer than the other 2 pairs. It's kind of like reminiscent of Vendettas, where they had to like put daggers in a barrel, and it's like if you just keep doing it to the same people, then they're going to be there forever, trading daggers or whatever. So, I mean, I agreed with the deal. Something that took me by surprise was like when we got to a later checkpoint, Devin and Tori had the opportunity to sabotage Bananas and Nani, and Devin was like, "Oh, we have a deal with them, so we're not going to sabotage them." To me, that deal was a checkpoint specific deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, very honorable of Devin, not non-West like, because I bet you West
Devin. It wasn't even Devin like.
It wasn't even Devin like, really. Yeah, like
Yeah.
man, what was the next checkpoint again?
It was this, I think, a slingshot. Yeah, they could have gave them 2 extra slingshots, which would have been huge because Benani took a long time on that.
They did.
Yeah,
they did. That could have set them back a lot.
Yeah.
So,
but we've heard Bananas say this before, like on Total Madness, he does not go all out on day 1.
Yeah.
Usually the advantage is not an advantage. And usually like the people who are tiring themselves out day 1, start to slack a little bit day 2. So that's when Bananas turns on the afterburners. So
Yeah.
it doesn't surprise me that Bananas is running through this day one, kind of lackadaisical, trying, but like also making jokes here and there just to keep his attitude up.
Yeah. Very confusing with Bananas because then he's kind of going about it that way, but when they were at the slingshot, he was getting like real frustrated.
Yeah, and honestly, too frustrated because like Nani just set her ball in the slingshot, and Bananas is like, "Hurry up, go!" And it's like you both
Yeah.
have to hit targets. Like let her take her time and line up a shot because even if you hit your two targets, we have to wait for Nani. So like relax. Like why are you
Yeah, just hearing the way he was like complaining was just like,
Yeah. He
you
like
know,
yelled at her. He's like, "Go!" When Nani
yeah,
like took 3 seconds to set up. Like,
yeah.
um, yeah. So they drink the drinks. Devin and Tori only had to drink like three, while uh Horacio and Olivia had to drink a lot. Before that, Horacio or Olivia smashes her finger on with a bola. She kind of like what I think releases too late, and like the one of the balls comes back and smashes her finger or something like that.
Oh, is that what happened?
I think that's what I'm
I
guessing.
I thought she said like the middle part of the bola, like when she threw it, it like ripped her skin all
Oh,
the
so
way
she was kind of
off.
holding it to the where the balls were dangling right here.
Yeah, and so when she chucked it, like as it was going, it literally just ripped her skin
Yeah.
out in
Okay.
midair and
Yeah.
went.
That's
Because that's what I remember her saying, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Maybe, but yeah. Well, I don't even know what that would. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
She
that's
fucked up.
what? That sounds like it hurts too. To have
Either
your skin
way, like
ripped off like
smashing a
that.
bola on your fingernail would hurt, or ripping the skin off from the rope. That
Yeah,
would hurt too. She was like dripping blood too, so like yeah.
like gushing, bro. She needed stitches. That's another thing. Like, oh, yo, shout out Olivia, bro. What
Yeah.
she say? She said, yo, just put some stitches so I can keep
Like I'm
going.
not quitting over her finger.
I ain't quitting over a
He's
finger. I'm
like
from
Horacio, keep
Alaska.
going.
Yeah, and you know what? Real quick, she said that she was from Alaska. I forgot to mention this last week because she had mentioned it last week. But when she said she was from Alaska, it almost took me off guard because I wasn't expecting her to be from like Alaska. I don't really know where she would have been if I had to guess,
I
but
expect her like
Alaska,
a Cali girl,
yeah, yeah, but Alaska just
I,
wasn't my guess.
yeah, I
But
love how but go ahead.
it just makes her cooler.
Mhm.
I don't know, just to hear that she's from Alaska. I don't really remember the last time someone was from Alaska
Yeah, that's
from the chat.
badass. They were like, yeah, Olivia grew up, on the farm using her hands, getting down and dirty. And as they're saying this, they're showing pictures of her like looking super girly. Like it made no sense, but
Yeah,
I
and then you
believe
see,
it.
yeah, and then you see what's contradictory about that is that then Olivia would go, "Well, our dad raised us to be kind of tomboyish so that we would always be equal to men."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's really cool, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
What
Didn't expect that.
your
Like we're learning
background is
so much
so
about
weird."
yeah, we're learning a lot about Olivia in this final. Like we're learning
Yeah,
more about her in this final than we did the whole season.
yeah, yeah. Honestly,
Um so yeah, next station is at the 21-hour mark. And it's before the slingshots. I forgot about this. So they have 16 tires with all the names of the eliminated cast members. One at a time, they will move the tires a kilometer away and arrange the names in the order in which they were eliminated.
mhm.
Cool challenge, little.
I like this. I like the memory of like the season, like to see who's really been paying attention. Like they
Yeah,
really did something like this for Dirty 30. It's actually the same challenge that Anissa rolled her ankle in on Dirty 30. Remember, it was the put the seasons in order,
yeah, and she was jumping
right?
up and down, and then like,
Yeah, and stuff like that. And so I like when they do like a, oh, who got eliminated? This one, blah blah blah.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I'm a big
I
fan of
like.
that too. Yeah,
I was going along with it. I was like, okay, I think it was Kaylin, Sam,
yeah.
Turbo, and Tamara who went
You forget
second.
about certain people that were on the show when you start thinking like that. Like
Yeah, even
when they showed
challenging.
Turbo, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't forget. It just feels like that was ages ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was. These seasons are so long nowadays.
Yeah,
Might have
so
been
it's
last year.
like, oh my god, Kim and Colleen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Chimera.
months ago.
Who?
Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really take many notes on that station. It was, they were just running back and forth with tires a lot of the time. But yeah. So we move on to the next station, which is slingshots. We've seen this before. Devin has certainly seen this before. I'm assuming like production already had this in mind for the final, because if they decided to put this in the final, that could maybe be like favoring Devin a little bit, because Devin was like so masterful at this, like nobody could touch him. But
Yeah.
super conspiracy stuff that, I don't know, doesn't really matter. So they got to use a slingshot to knock out 2 targets. First pair to complete it can sabotage another pair by making them hit 2 additional targets. And this is where shit hits the fan. So, I mean, Devin and Tori 1-2, buckle, 1-2. They got it done. And Bananas and Nani get there. They struggle big time. It did seem like the targets were a lot closer to them. So I was surprised to see them struggle a lot. But it seems like Devin and Tori are just going to run away with day 1.
Yeah.
We'll see how much that matters.
We'll see. It's this damn advantage.
Yeah.
We're keeping a close eye on this advantage.
Yeah, that's that. So yeah, this episode ended with Olivia fucking breaking her face in 5 different spots. So at first I'm blaming Olivia. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? She hits her, she hurts her finger with the bola. She slings the slingshot back at her face. I'm thinking there's a correlation between these two, because in my theory, my original theory for the bola is like she's just swinging it, holding one of the balls and swinging it, and then like releases too late, so like the other ball comes and like smashes her finger, and that kind of, I think the same thing kind of happens with this slingshot. She has the wrong technique and she like reverses it somehow and it hits her in the face. But I did see challenge stats tweet out. I love how we're just bringing challenge stats up every episode somehow.
We need to get them on fucking one of these.
Is it like multiple people?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no clue. But if it's just one person, shout out.
Yeah, shout out. If it's more than one person, shout outs, plural.
Shout outs, yeah.
But he said, or he or she said, that like he really didn't like that. They didn't like this because they should have been wearing safety goggles, and it's not safe to operate this slingshot with one hand, which is what Olivia had to do because of her injured finger. So I think that variable had a big factor in the slingshot just like slinging wrong. I think her trying to do it with one hand was the catalyst for that.
Yeah, she was using the hand that had the messed up finger
for some reason.
Yeah, which already made that difficult. But man, because I was in my girlfriend and a friend of ours watching this, and the moment where she got hit, we all like at the same time went, oh!
Yeah, and didn't move until like we found out more.
Yeah,
like,
literally until the episode finished, we didn't we didn't move from that spot. We were locked in the last like 10 minutes of the episode. We were like, oh my god! At first, I was just like so like dumbfounded on how that happened. Because I was like, how the fuck did that happen? It was almost like it came back.
It was almost comical in the least comical way. It's just like what the fuck? How does that happen? Like.
Yeah, and they didn't put no audio. If you go back, you can literally hear the sound of the ball hitting her head. Like it hit her square right there in between her eyes. And the amount of blood that came from her face so quickly was insane, bro. And the moment where she's like, shout out to Horacio for being so supportive throughout this whole thing. And like the moment, I thought it was so wholesome. Like she was in the ambulance and she was, her and Horacio were just kind of talking to each other. She was like, do I still look good? You promise?
Like you look.
You promise? Oh my god, why is this happening? Blah blah. And Horacio's just like giving her reassurance and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like the last 10 minutes really like elevated Horacio and Olivia.
Oh,
Like
he's
a
like a
lot.
yeah, they're just like golden cast members now that are needed. They're requirements. I feel like they have leverage on production because of fucking how far they just lifted off this season. They could be like, yo, pay us this or we're not coming on, and production would be like, fuck, we have to pay you that.
Yeah, like they this moment, as sad as it was, just seeing them get eliminated and seeing Horacio crying, it was like, let me do it. Let me do double the work. I'll do it for her. Blah 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 blah. I really genuinely believe this is the moment that made them stars, even though
Yeah.
they didn't win.
Yeah.
Like every challenger that is a star has that moment that turns them from just like that regular challenger into a
Big moment.
star.
Big
Yeah, this was that moment,
Yeah.
I think, for Olivia and Horacio.
Not everyone gets it on their rookie season.
No, not everyone gets it. And what's crazy about this whole thing is that I didn't know this before, but they were originally alternates in this season, which just made this whole run just that much more phenomenal.
So I'm assuming they got entered into the game when Casey and her brother had COVID or something.
No, I think it was for when Nam and Emmy got knocked out for something.
Yeah. Okay.
So they got so Olivia and Horacio replaced them, I think, right? But thank God that happened because, oh my God, imagine if they didn't make it on. This season would have gone completely different.
Yeah, it might have been trash.
I know, and oh my God, they are the like best rookies.
Yeah,
I think.
And Olivia, again, a testament to her attitude and her competitiveness. Immediately when that shit happens, as she's gushing blood, she's like, "I'm so sorry, Horacio." Like,
yeah,
so
sorry. Saying, "Tape it up. I want to keep going. I don't want to quit."
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Like that was some warrior shit out of Olivia, and I think Olivia specifically. I think the same for Horacio, but I think they both literally punched their ticket for the next 5 seasons of the show.
Yep.
Because for future seasons, if I'm casting it, I'm like, okay, how do we add Olivia and Horacio to this? Because they are golden.
Bro. It would be a disservice to every fan out there if they chose to not have them on another season.
I'm sorry, all the rookies that this show has cast in the last 5 seasons and didn't bring them back immediately the next season.
Oh yeah,
these two are the.
I'll forgive you if you just bring these two back.
Yeah, these two have to be the exception to that rule. They need to come back.
Yeah, Olivia, at the end of the day, is lucky. Imagine 1 inch to the left, 1 inch up, 1 inch to the right, 1 inch down, where that ball hits. Many more problems.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Loss of eyesight could have happened for either eye. A shattered nose could have happened, and I can't imagine. It's probably not a good idea getting hit right here. So this literally might be the perfect spot to get hit on the face.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get hit in the face.
I mean, that moment was insane, and it ended the episode.
Yeah,
that's how the episode ended. Was just the last 10 minutes of that. They showed when Jordan and Nisa walked up. I was like, damn, what happened? Blah 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 blah. And it's crazy seeing Jordan just so focused.
Yeah, he walked right by us. Yeah.
Yeah, and Nisa stopped. She was like, what happened? Blah, 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 blah. Trying to figure it all out. But oh my fucking gosh, that moment was insane. I remember when the episode finished, I immediately ran back to see just to rewatch it because I was just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Jordan was like, what, did Olivia quit?
Yeah, what the fuck? and what's crazy is the confessionals afterwards. You could see how it affected her,
looked like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, and then they showed a confessional 3 months later of them talking about it. Which was pretty cool to get a time on when that confessional happened. 3 months later, which was insane.
Yeah.
I almost want to believe that confessional was almost filmed not too long ago. And they just kind of added it in last minute.
Well, I thought about they kind of had to, because if they had Olivia with that scar narrating the final, everyone would have known, oh, she gets injured during the final. So they had to wait until it was completely healed to have her run through the final in a confessional manner. So yeah, and I think it was a special case for just them. They had to wait for her to heal so it wouldn't spoil anything that happened.
Yeah, so like I want to believe that that was almost filmed recently, like probably during one of our recaps. It was
Yeah.
probably filmed, and man, I mean, that was just like such a crazy moment in
Yeah.
the episode.
Yep. But at the end of the day, a pair is eliminated. No more Horacio and Olivia. It's a 3-pair race.
All vets,
All
all
vets. All
all vets. This
vets.
one,
All
yeah,
vets, but we do have regardless of who wins, we will have a new champion. So that's cool.
yeah. That I like that. I like that. It's gonna be a. It would be a. Oh yeah. All vets. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was gonna think, would it only be an all vet woman? But I forget Devin hasn't won either. So like it would be Bananas and Jordan would be the only.
We're guaranteed a new female champion
Yeah.
with a possibility of a new male and female champion if one team wins, being Devin and Tori, which they are in the lead. So
Yep.
that's saying something. But yeah, on the next on, I remember Banani arguing again.
I think that's gonna be a running thing.
So that'll happen. This episode with the edit kind of made me feel that Devin and Tori are the favorites, but that also makes me think maybe they'll switch it up next episode and maybe have a little bit of Banani favored. I don't know. We'll see. My prediction is staying the same for Devin and Tori to be the victors of this final.
Yeah.
This episode was pretty reassuring for me. Like I was honestly on the fence, and now I'm leaning a little bit more towards Devin and Tori. So
Yeah. I
surprised, but
think
Banani ain't doing as good as I thought they would.
yeah, I think I'm still gonna hold on to Bananas and Nani for this one. Jordan and Nisa, I think, are just gonna finish third. Um, it was crazy when we saw sneak peeks of just the final and whole that like they would show shots of things to come and they would show the blood scenes. Little did we know all that blood was coming from Olivia.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so
because
true.
you would think it would come from multiple people. It all came from like. Oh, shout out to Olivia. She provided the
Yeah,
scene.
all
She
the
was like,
blood
"I'm gonna
that
give y'all
was.
something to talk about."
Yeah.
So
Production was like, we need to hit a blood limit, and we just haven't had any blood this season. So one of you is gonna have to like almost die this final.
so yeah, like oh my god, like literally, like oh my fucking gosh, it was crazy. But
Yeah.
I the sneak peek, I saw a shot of them running through like I want to say swamp water.
Okay.
And then I think there's like a thing they're doing at night, but I can't really remember
Yeah. I
what
don't
else.
know much for the next on. Yeah, but it's gonna be more of a final, so I'm excited. I think this final is doing good so far. You know, I've definitely seen worse finals, and I've seen a couple of better finals. I think it's just like a little above average so far for me.
I think you know what? I think the last 10 minutes really put it up there
Yeah,
as a like okay, this final has been much better than like I want to say the last two
yeah.
or even like the last three.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to Total Madness because I remember Total Madness was kind of like little little boring.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it
It
was
was
kind
an
of
okay
boring.
final.
Yeah,
Um, but this one, like I think up until the moment where the Olivia thing happened, I think it was going okay because they did start off the final with them driving,
yeah,
riding bikes that had no type of award for it, and then sleeping. So
yeah,
it kind of started off slow,
yeah. You're right.
but it did at the end of it. It picked up
I
drastically
agree
in
with
the
you.
most drastic way.
Yeah, I agree with you where you're just like, this is just one of those challenge moments, you know? Like the last 10 minutes of this episode nobody will forget, you know?
Yeah,
Like you can go
and I think
back
that's
to
like
previous
yeah,
seasons and think of like certain moments. And this, when we think of Ride or Dies, this will probably be the moment.
Yeah, it'll probably be that moment, or just like Olivia and Horacio,
Mm-hmm.
just in general, like their run in this season. Like it's like you said, like the best seasons have those moments you think back to, right? The worst ones don't have really any moments to like, think back to or want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I think this moment was that moment that would be like, all right, I don't know if I'm going to rewatch the entire season again, but I'm going to rewatch this final just for this moment.
Yeah, it was
Because that
gold.
was great.
It was gold for production. It elevated the season. It elevated the final. It elevated Horacio and Olivia as future cast members, even though Olivia had to sacrifice
Yeah.
a good amount.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. I'm excited for the remainder of the final. Um, Thank you for joining me as always, Adonis. I hope you guys watching enjoyed. Please feel free to leave us a comment to let us know how you feel about the final so far, and how you felt about our thoughts on the final. But yep, until next time, peace out.